Hey there, Mr. Peter Benton. I responded also, bro, to the email and stuff like that. And I'm happy you emailed me. And again, yeah, what I said is what I meant, brother. And I can't thank you enough, man. Man, and you know, honestly, these channels, my channel, all channels would not be here if people were not contributing. And not just the contribution, it's, the friendship's also really cool. Bruce and company, here we go again. Let's talk. Yeah, I'm going to talk interesting, talk about UFOs, get into theories as we always do. They're very quiet, aren't they? Hey, Patrick, how's it going, man? Hi to you. Old lady, Patriot 64, thanks for being here. And Christopher Rollins back. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to make a live stream to come on and to, what are we going to talk about today and stuff. It's actually so much is going on. Hey, KM, how's it going? Craig, 971, thanks, man. Lots is going on. Andrew, go truckers go. Thank you so much. And now American as much as Canadian, which is fun. Of course, as US and Canada, you see a lot of Americans and Canadians fighting online, but in reality, US and Canada, we got to be like this. We always have been. And everything that usually happens in the States often happens here too. It's not too long that Canada repeats. And Trudeau seems to be doing what China's doing what Biden's doing. Trudeau's hiding. He's sick. He'll be in quarantine for 5 days. Tomorrow, only 4 days. Truck drivers already rolling into Parliament Hill in Ottawa. Of course, this is how it is. I'm right there. I'm close. I'm so close. The closer you are to Ottawa, the more videos you'll see of Ottawa. The further you are away from Ottawa, the less videos you see. Christy, for example, in our Oregon, she'll probably have a hard time finding convoy videos. People in the States as compared to us here in Canada. There are lots. There are thousands of people that posted videos. They're going to the overpasses and stuff. There's a lot more people. And there's over 70,000 now, I think, trucks or something like that. So I have no idea where they're all going to go. Divine wisdom and power of the seer. Hello, and thank you for being here. Ivo. Hola. Muchas gracias. Bienvenido. Thank you very much. Eating and listening. You're not rubbing back and forth right now, How's it going, brother? Nice to see you, man. The cold started getting a little cold again tonight. Well, we have snow on the way, 25 centimeters to 30 centimeters, depending on where in the province it's going to fall. So again, more snow is going to fall here. We didn't get a lot of snow this year, but that's for sure. There's nothing incredible here. No high amounts of snow or anything, actually. It's a lot lower. But winter always does this here. We didn't get any snow at the beginning of winter, and winter started late. But winter arrives at the end, the last minute, and pushes all the snow. So, of course, the heating up of the planet, we are getting a lot more snow. There's a lot more clouds. That means not precipitation, but more like precipitation from the clouds, because that's the problem. The heat rises, comes back down, it forms clouds, and then it comes back down as precipitation. The sun is scary, guys. I know some of you are going to say, hey, Gary Herod, hi, man. Hey, Michelle Rasa, thanks for being here. Good evening from Orlando, Florida. Thanks for joining, guys. Jay Bird. Over the years, even I am not going to hide it, a lot of channels have been saying, oh, how many times, guys, have we heard people saying that, it's the end of the world and stuff? Do you all find it weird that all the people predicting the end, like 2012, 2016, and 2017, 18, 2019, I've seen them every year changing predictions. In 2021, they stopped predicting an end. And now would have been a good time for people to start saying maybe it's the end of the world with everything that's going on. Tonga, I'm telling you that eruption there, volcanic eruptions have to do with the sun. So the sun, when the sun reacts, there should be an automatic reaction or counter reaction by Earth, obviously, because it's all magnetism. It's the magnetosphere of Earth that's being disturbed. And that's what's scary about China making the Chinese moon, making a moon, guys, okay, with a gyro something inside of it. It's going to manipulate the magnetosphere for sure. It's going to do something with the atmosphere. They have a sun. And apparently it's going to be able to levitate frogs and nuts. I don't know. That's what people, that you guys and gals that are investing in science research, well, that's what China is going to do for you. Going to lift some nuts. Marissa, how's it going? Welcome. Just Fly the Moon is a hologram. A lot of people say that, Marissa. Absolutely. There's a whole bunch of theories. I appreciate them all. Elmer Fudd here. I'm having a hard time talking. I've known that for a while. They control it with a dial like your volume on your car. I tell you what, it would be possible to do. Anything you could think of is possible to do. Say to yourself, they probably already tried it. Elias, hey, my friend, how's it going? You're Bruce. C'est la folie à Ottawa, dude. Mais c'est incroyable. Écoute, j'ai regardé ça toute la journée hier, regardé toute la journée aujourd'hui, et ce n'est que le début, c'est que le tip du iceberg qui arrive à Ottawa, là. Dis-toi ça. It's only the tip, merci Alias. It's only the tip of the iceberg that arrived in Ottawa. It is beautiful. I've been emotional for a couple of days, actually. Every time I watch the videos, because don't forget, it's something you don't see. I've never seen anyone in Canada have to come together that much, so that you just see everyone just together and just agreeing the same thing. Yes, end the mandates, end the mandates. It's a beautiful thing to see. Hey, Craig, sorry, I don't even understand how come I missed that. I'm sorry I missed that, Craig. And listen, it's a little bit of appreciation of my token of my appreciation. It's not much, but I really appreciate the support that you give the channel, man. So thanks a lot, all of you. Thanks again, Gary in the house, and Michelle again from Orlando, Florida. Jaybird, hello, welcome back, my friends. Mr. Peter Benton in the house. I wasn't able to get the sun after I left the live stream because the sun was like too close to the horizon, but I did get today's sun. So that'll be the next video that I'll get up. And now it's for real. Like right after this stream, I'll be able to get it up. Absolutely. And yeah. The Penny 46. How's it going? Welcome. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Stéphanie Thivierge. Welcome, as always, to the stream. Metayarb to Yarby. How's it going? I saw the fringe. Yeah, the benefit is in hiding, though. Yeah, that's exactly it. And he's going to hide, hide from having to meet with the truckers and the police and everyone and the news media, obviously here in Quebec and in Canada. You know what they're saying, eh? Same thing that's going on, that went on in the States for January 6th during at the Capitol, when they started saying that, that the American people were domestic terrorists. So they're saying that now they have to be careful because there's other groups that are mixing themselves in with the convoy and the very dangerous groups. And they said, we don't know the names of these groups yet, but we're watching them. I swear. I know you're not going to believe me, but yes, that's what they said on the news. Other groups are entering the convoy. Who? CIA agents? RCMP undercover agents that are going to go try to stir up shit. Excuse the expression, but it gets old, eh? Like, look at it way back. I only, for the first time, I'm not going to hide it. Who the hell cares about big pharma and everything? But when you see what they're doing now, I started looking and researching, and 1910, that's when it happened. That's when medicine took a turn and big pharma took over, and Fauci and all that afterwards. Anyways, the experimentation he's doing on the animals and stuff. And I never mentioned it here about the beagles and what they're doing and stuff, but actually I did a long time ago, but never got into the details because it would make it's sad that they're doing that, experimenting again on cross-contamination, guys. I mean, I'm not even a cook, and I wouldn't cut chicken and then go cut fish and then go back and cut some meat or something like that. And, cross-contamination. Hello, chicken, botulism. I heard of it, proud of it. A lot of people don't know these stupid little things, right? But when you get So start experimenting with animals and, you know, splicing genes and shit like they're doing. It's really creepy Frankenstein stuff, you know. Maybe I'm not using proper terms because I ain't a doctor, but think of it. It's crazy what they're doing. The clones and stuff, we all started hearing about that when I started my channel at the beginning. They were already talking about the clones, and they were talking about trying to recreate beef in a petri dish. That was all just talk, but they're doing it now. They're doing it. They talk a bit about it, and then it happens. It's creepy stuff. They've been experimenting on humans and animals for probably hundreds of years. You know, you just hope that the aliens are here because they're going to put the elites in their place. I still tend to think it has to do with the nuclear, that they do not want. Listen, we'd never leave Earth, right? Well, aside from what we think and believe what we're doing, like New Horizons, satellites and stuff, if we're going further out than that, and there's weapons on those satellites, aliens are gonna shoot them out of the sky, out of oblivion, obviously. But I think basically everything that goes into deep space is just a camera to record everything on the spur of the moment live, you know, so that they can see what beings are roaming around and from what stars they're leaving from and what experimentation they're doing. Because listen, these scientists are whizzes compared to us here. And well, I'm comparing to me anyways, but the chemicals and stuff in space react differently. And by colors and by the way these chemicals react in space, scientists know sometimes what the chemicals are. So they're watching these other beings, you know, and they're probably not that far off. It's scary stuff when you think of it. Okay, where's the sun exploding? Exploding? I saw a couple of people that said the sun was exploding. I mean, it is dangerous, but as for exploding, I don't know. Peter saw it on his end. It was a bit higher, more like center-ish or something like that. Me, it's a bit just off to the center, which you'll see in the next video. But there's a video 2 days ago. Someone said the sun exploded 2 days ago. It's just that I've been watching it and I haven't seen anything. But when I say I've been watching it, I filmed it for an hour too, right? No, I haven't been watching it 24 hours. Did you get this? Did you watch the sun today, Bruce? Yes. From 10 to 11 sometimes, or ask Peter from 10 to 10:05, because the clouds, there's more clouds than there is nice sun. And then I don't know if you experienced it yet, Peter, with the bloody wind. When you have wind and you're filming the sun or moon, it sucks. And the footage is scrapped. It's no good either. But the sun exploding, what's going to go on, Ron Berkey, is that there are pulses. I guess somebody said this afternoon, if that's what you mean, pulses coming from the sun that are being let off, high radiation pulses. But I'm not even going to confirm it for me because I didn't. I know there was some geomagnetic storms, there's some solar flares. There's some different intensities like M1, M5. But as for the pulses, I thought I was following pretty much what the sun is doing. They're worried because the resonance and everything at one point it was strong and it was a very strong reading. But they're talking also about a star Draconis. Don't get mixed up. A lot of people I'm not saying you, Ron, but some people are getting mixed up, and even me sometimes, with Draconis, a star, and another star now they found at 4,000 light years away, which is a magnetar. They're not sure what it is, but it's ginormous, and it's letting off these big bursts of radiation, but often, like every couple of hours, they're letting off these big bursts. And they're looking obviously to see how the stars or whatnot around it are reacting. Now, they're not going to tell us if there's a planet there near Draconis, which I actually think there is. But if either way, they could be looking to see what's going to happen with a planet like Earth, like celestial object, if a sun explodes. They must be even looking in space for a planet that's close to a star that's about to explode, obviously. I mean, talk about investing research. That would be the first thing that I would be wanting to do, seems to me. Pamela, welcome. Thanks. Just passed, but my thumbs up for the channel. Love all the people. Good evening. Aliaus, Valhalla, un gros merci. Vraiment un gros merci. Je continue. Regarde demain sans faute. On va en parler sur Revenu Québec Astronomie. le, la convoi qui est décollé de partout, de Montréal, Rivière-du-Loup, dans le bas de Québec. Et là, même, il y a d'autres, le Brésil maintenant, qui font une convoi aussi. On va en parler demain. Hey, John Blight, thanks for being here. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, the little bit that they get it right, the govs. And I'm not talking about the Canadian people. I'm always talking about the government. It's about time we get it right. Honestly, I'm not going to hide it. It's sometimes I feel ashamed to be Canadian, with what's going on. But I think everyone feels like that sometimes in the country. Never ashamed of the people, but what they're doing is not right. I'm very, very happy for the truckers. And again, the truckers cannot mention it more. It's really for to end the mandates completely. They're not going to leave if not. And more people are going to speak out about it. There's nothing wrong with speaking out about it. Sure, they can block you. They can take down your monetized videos and stuff. But that doesn't matter because we're worth more than money, right? And it's important for people to speak up. I think it is. I've always done it in a civil way. It's legal to do peaceful protests, and it's important to tell our children that, what happens. I remember now my grandparents, the bit they talked about what went on and stuff. It's important to remember that. And they should have, with emphasis, to tell your kid about things. I told my son, things happen that the government, you can never trust them. It doesn't mean to go against them, but you always have to have your own good judgment or use common sense and stuff like that, because they do try to suck us into things all the time. That's how they manipulate us, through fear. It's fear tactics. It's sad, but that's what they do. They manipulate us through fear tactics. And that's not just me ranting. That's what everybody knows is what they do. They've admitted it. Okay. The elites know that the way to get to the people is through fear. They know that. They've admitted it. Many have. I've heard even many say that, hey, Darla, are you, Darla, that is scary. Are you serious about that? That's actually pretty awesome. You see, that's what scares me when they say, oh my gosh, get ready for a weather bomb. On top of it, Darla must be like, Bruce is nuts. I commented you in the comment on the last couple videos. I said, it's a weather bomb they're announcing that's coming 2,000 kilometers away, and it's going to be really bad. And then it's already gone. Good. That's good. That's good. Maybe they waited because of the convoy and stuff. Oh, the government. It's not the governments that are manipulating the weather there, because they would have made it really pour down on the convoy. And it's a good thing, guys. I hope the convoy will be okay tomorrow, because Saturday is the day that they were announcing it. Like Darla said, no, great. Hey, Kellen, last year we got like 2 feet in one night. Haven't got that much so far this year. See, that's like us. Same thing. And this year there's a lot less snow. But you see how there's no predicting it, right? Like maybe next year we'll get no snow at all. And the year after that, you get like 3 times the amount of snow. It's like that, unpredictable. But they said it. The weather is. Hi, Julie. They said the weather is going to be unpredictable. Thank you very much, Julie. Fellow Skywatchers, thank you for sharing your time with us today. The thumbs up, guys, are always appreciated. Please participate and enjoy me, my friend Kazoo, my little blue alien. Makes me think of my son every time. And the mods, Julie Stats, thank you very much. Peter Hyde's in the house. Hello, Bruce and all. Thanks so much, Peter Hyde, for stopping by, my friend. Smooth Crypto, hi there. Nice to see you too, man. Thanks, eh? Yeah, we're all stuck on the ground, flat or not. Pure Bloods, a vigilant patriot. Thanks for being here, my friend. We're all together in this. No matter what freaking group or association we're in, we're all in it for freedom, for our freedom. That's for sure. That's all we want. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing violent or vindictive or terroristic in that, is it? The sun is not exploding, but is between blue and purple now. If anyone's sun stares, the toroidal fields are rainbow. I can't believe nobody can see how crazy the energy is. Well, obviously, no, the energy is crazy. It's definitely crazy. The sun is about to explode, literally, and it's going to be probably bigger than a Carrington event. The cycle 25 is the cycle we're in now, and they haven't been checking the cycles that long. That's what's concerning. Look at when they started checking the cycles. It was not that long ago. The cycles were not that long ago, honestly. Thank you so much, Peter Hyde. Love you, bro. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, those two with the sun. You know, whether they were right predicted in the past, they predicted it many times. Yeah, that's another one, Vigilant Patriot. Thanks again, Peter, and everybody. Vigilant Patriot. Yes, Vigilant Patriot. CERN is something that concerns me. It should be like their CERN, you know? What they're doing there is incredible. The smashing of atoms and creating dark matter, opening portals and whatever the hell they're doing. If the elites, for some reason, they seem to want to be terminating life for some people here on Earth, depopulation, it would make sense that maybe regulate, Bob Barker used to tell us before he passed. Oh, no, I'm not going to do this again. He's still alive, okay? This happens to me every time. He didn't die. I don't think so. I don't want to talk about it, actually. We talked about Betty White and we lost her, so I don't want to even take a chance. We lost a lot of good actors, in 2021. 2021, and even at the beginning of 2022, a lot of good people passed away. Meatloaf, even just recently, a couple of them, Bob Saget, I think, Betty White. Those are just three off the bat within a distance of a couple of weeks from each other. Alyssa, welcome. Very, very worried about CERN, Vigilant Patriot. Very worried about them. Andrew Lepensi, how's it going, man? My friend, could the moon be the skeleton of another planet? I like that one. Left in orbit. Yep. And it got full of dust over the years and stuff like that because of a volcanic eruption, man, on Earth or something. I can go on for hours. I like these theories. As a warning or show of force or ability to destroy planets. Like, here, we left you this, biatches. This is what's going to happen to you, your fate, if you don't listen and harvest their molten cores. That's another thing. They're good at mining. That's obviously what every being is doing that goes to different planets, most likely also. Rang like a bell. You said it. Yes. Would explain why it rang like a bell. Yeah, because they emptied its core. It's true when you think of it. Makes sense, my friend. Carrie G, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you very much, you guys. Love you for it. Greatly appreciated. And the next video is coming up right after this. So I'm going to put some things in with the sun, but I also want to see if I can film some infrared this evening. Sammy M, how's it going? Hello, Bruce, and everyone. Go Truckers. Love to Canada. Thank you very much, my friends. Love and support. That's what we all got to do, is stick together. We all got different dreams. We all want our freedom, though. That's something. There are some things that no matter who we are or how different we are, that make us sort of the same, wanting the same things, right? When you think of it. Yeah, high voltage torsion physics. I wish I was a genius. I learned a lot, and I am no genius. So when you get into all these terms and I don't hide it. I've never hidden it. A lot of people say, Bruce, what's this or what's that? Sorry, I don't know. I don't know that term. I don't know that term. No, I know quite a few terms, but it's never ending. And honestly, that's the scariest part. Electricity, Tesla. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to understanding energy. And don't forget the biggest secret of them all. And a lot of people in the military, thanks again for the contributions, Kerry G and everyone. The military said it themselves. It's the free energy. If it was to come out, well, then everyone would want to have free energy. You wouldn't want to pay for heating because we don't have to pay for heating. There's a free burning energy that already exists. And a lot of people from the military in the States and around the world have mentioned that if ever it was to come out, well, it would abolish many things like the need for gas, for fuel and stuff. Why are we even pulling it out and hauling it out of Earth if they have all these, you know, principles and stuff? Because there are some things that don't make sense with some of the theories that even you and I come up with sometimes, right? Especially me, and I'm not going to say you, but you come up with theories sometimes that they really make sense, but you look at a certain aspect in something that does not make sense. Like, for example, the elites. I get that they want to get rid of us, but would they want to destroy the planet by taking out the oil? And I mean, maybe why are they conserving all those barrels? Do you know how many million gallons of oil is pumped out each day? And you know how many bloody barrels ahead of time that they have? Billions. You can go see it on a website where they show the number of barrels that are produced every day, you know, the number of people that die each day. I don't know if you've been to that site. It's pretty incredible. The numbers, how they flow. You know, John Blight, I love the theory of the hologram for one thing. Um, you know, I believe that around us there could be some type of hologram. I'm not sure if the entire universe is a hologram, but I wouldn't unrule that. That was a good theory, Andrew, by the way, the Pensy. I wouldn't rule it out, though. I wouldn't rule it out. But using a hologram, for example, to hide the moon, I don't even think they would have to even do it. All they need is the vapor that's there, is what they are doing. Maybe all the fires and smokes that are on the surface of the moon are just for that, so that it'll hide the surface. And you know, there's a lot of objects in that atmosphere of the moon. Tony Brooks, a couple of days ago, he messaged me and said, Bruce, you know, the Eagle module. Tony Brooks told me it's floating around Earth. I don't know everything. I hadn't even really ever thought of that. I do remember pondering on that, or somebody told me, or I found out, but never really thought anything of it. But some of that stuff that's floating around the moon that I do see could be debris, and some could be the Eagle module, but you tend to think that it would have fallen back down to Earth, right? By now, but I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it did not. Sandrell, thanks for being here. And yeah, and another thing, you guys, if ever you have problems that you start noticing that you're sort of disappearing here, or that all of a sudden there's like way less communication, or things drop up and down. I don't get notifications. This happened on Crawlface's channel. Anyways, when I go to his channel or a couple of channels, I always get responses back from everyone, and a lot of people may be getting insulted because I'm not replying back. I don't get the effing notifications. That pisses me off. But some of you, if you get blocked off of here, please don't assume. That happened last week. Some people were literally blocked from the channel. You know, be sure. The best thing, like even happened, I am Kai, one of his bloody channels. The best thing is to mention it like he did to me. Why was I blocked? You weren't. And then whoops, boom, boom, to be able to fix it. But whether it be, you know, I get a lot of hackers here, but there's also a lot of glitches on YouTube. A lot of glitches, unfortunately, on YouTube. You can lift the nuts. Yes, exactly. Every big city has a Doppler that can crank up. That's another thing, you know. And I bet you some of them, in theory, if you want to be a bit creative, some of them can even be certain monuments that people aren't allowed going close to. You know, like obviously the pyramids and certain statues that maybe have a machine inside or generator or whatever, Doppler, like you said. I do believe in that. I believe that there are objects, in theory. I mean, don't think I'm nuts. In theory, I believe there most definitely are objects that are energy points. Or I'm not using the right term, but you know, playing charades, energy towers, an electrical source or a power source, let's say, because there's many different power sources, right? We only know the power sources here on Earth that we're familiar with. And the power sources that maybe we can come up with theories or our imagination, but free energy. It's definitely Sandra L from Arizona. Thank you. It's definitely something they're hiding. from the people. They don't want us to have that technology. Unfortunately, it's sad. Rip Van Winkle, morning to you. Thank you very much, my friends, for stopping by. Kellen says, if the Chinese scientists um, are to be believed, I think our moon might be a hollow ice planet, akin to we envision Europa, how we envision, oh yes, skin to how we envision Europa. That makes sense. Chinese scientists are to be believed, I think our moon might be a hollow ice planet. Well, don't forget, that's the thing. It becomes so hard to know what is truth and what is not. China and all governments lie to us about a lot of things, but we can't start assuming that everything's a lie in science when they're talking. I do like you. I try to use my common sense, Kellen, and try to associate certain things with certain logic. Europa, they talked about it, and not at the beginning, the first time when I know many years back they even talked about it, but when they really started talking about the water around it in the atmosphere, that's what I'm getting as what I think they're going to be trying to look for is water everywhere in the atmosphere. But why? I don't understand that. It's like, you seem to me that would, maybe it's just my stupid head, that is the last thing I would look for. I would assume I could travel 3,000 light years and that when I get there, there'll be a frozen river. I believe that. But then again, we're in our realm here. We have no idea what's out there, eh? We have no idea what's out there. Yep, gold star. I wish she wouldn't would that would get the trolls jealous. Look at this bugger. He's putting up gold stars. What's his name? Peter Benton. Mark it down. If I was to list a number of you guys and gals that got trolled here by my trolls, and now I call them my trolls because I feel responsible. In a way, they're bad. A lot of them are really bad. Ah, wow. That's a problem, Marissa, sometimes with certain people that that's what the trolls do. They become mods on other people's channels. Let's say if they don't like you, well, they'll follow the same channels that you like, and they'll become mods. And they check people. They look for anything that they can get through to be able to piss people off. I don't know. It's hey Bar Weist, how are you? With love from frozen Minnesota. Oh no. So you're still in the cold, eh? Well, it was minus 21, even colder than that this morning, but in the afternoon, minus 21. But honestly, with no wind, I really appreciated the minus 21 as compared to the between minus 30, minus 40 with the wind factor. But again, that sun barb is really bad. So I guess more cold again. I don't know if you guys are supposed to get more in Minnesota, but there was supposed to be a storm heading over us. Donna said, "Yay, we're not getting it anymore." It was supposed to go all the way to the states. I think as far in, I never know which state. It was supposed to go into the states, anyways, coming from 2,000 kilometers away. But that's what happens now is that the winds are changing so drastically on Earth. I'm so happy because I'm like 0.2% smarter now in science. Hey, 0.2% to become 0.2% smarter. I had to read for 3 years and maybe didn't understand most of what I was reading. It takes a long time, eh? But now it comes down to the same things. I get it. Asteroids come into the solar system. It took me a while to understand, eh? And people tested me at the beginning because I was getting really cool captures, but I was no genius. So when I get an asteroid, they'd come and try to make fun of me. Like, what is it? What's that? Nah, he says it's that. So I could have said it was a pickle. I was still lucky to catch it. So either way was a win-win situation for me. But I think I'm getting off track. Jay Bird, thanks again for being here. Mr. Steve Towers, how's it going, brother? Hey, man, lovely to see you all. Same to you, man. Listen, Mr. Towers, they are so quiet with the UFOs. They're not talking. I want the three branches of military to talk. Shut down on the Space Force's anti or STS, so it would be satellite tracking system shut down. They need a more innovative or advanced technology to be able to continue to search for UFO life and to investigate those mysterious lights that are going around. So apparently NASA is going to do a setup like me. They're going to get a 14-inch scope, 2 infrared cameras, and they're going to sit out on the launch pad. We got to start getting some videos. The water, their rock samples were 50% more than on the surface, so it seems to be bleeding out. Bring it. Hey, Josh. How's it going tonight, Bruce? Good to fine. Thanks a lot. Good to see live stream and chat. Hello, also. Thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks, Josh. Welcome, man. Yes, if they are up there. Can't wait to see the new video. I check for new videos about every day. Jay Bird, I love you guys for it. Listen, I'm getting sure there's a lot of attacks here. Hackers literally rolling back my views. And for those of you who are curious, if you're like me, I like seeing those videos. People getting attacked. Isn't it fun watching a video when you see their views going down? Wow, that's sick. I got some videos up if you want to go see them. You guys that I do the same, we have a tendency of not going to see people's playlists. I have hundreds of playlists. And some of my very older videos are also here on the platform as I, in the community, invested in a bigger telescope. We got the bigger scope. But I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. Yeah, and it'll be, I already started the video, actually. I always try to get up between the streams, but instead I work on it. And I don't want to rush it out, and tonight I'll be able to get it up. I'll be outside filming tonight because, again, Darla says no snow, but I'm still hoping no snow. So far, so good. It doesn't look like there's anything. Hi, Marcus Free. How's it going? Salut. Demain, ça va être encore plus de gens avec le farfadeau. Oh, le farfadeau. Oh, que oui. Il va en avoir. On va en parler aussi sur Revenu Québec Astronomie demain. Moi, je vais parler de la convoi qui s'en va à Ottawa, Parliament Hill. Ça brasse, ça va brasser. J'espère, en tout cas. Tony Brooks in the house. Hi, Bruce, had to leave the chat earlier. Did you cover Eagle? Covered it. Oh, my gosh, yes. And I even covered it here. Yeah, I thought you just missed it, actually. If you back up me talking now, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, I just re-mentioned it. And I did it on the first stream, too. And like I said, and I told them, you had told me, no, absolutely, the Eagle module can be floating around. That could be some of the debris that I'm capturing, filming. And also, especially the debris that's flailing around really slowly could very well be that. If it's not, you'd think it's in motion, right? But I guess it could be stopping and maybe descending in orbit too. Definitely. Thanks, Tony. Casa Nostra, hello. Yeah, Marissa, all these demons that we have around us, some are bad, eh? Hey, hola. Bienvenidos. Muchas gracias. Thanks, guys. Hello from Canada. The trucks. I do that now. I mean, aren't we so proud of our countries when something happens? We go online. My country today. Yes, my truckers are going to the Parliament Hill. Yes, they're going to tell Trudeau off. You see all the Vuck Trudeau paint jobs on the trucks. Nice, nice. Sansi in the house. Thank you very much, my friend Super Dave. Mask Bishop. Hey, man. Thanks a lot, you guys. I want some of that live stream you post. Wow, getting crazy up there. It is getting crazy up there. It's getting exciting. And don't forget, it's all going to happen at the same time. Aside from what they're pulling under our noses, lots of launches. Elon Musk, again, wants to launch. They're looking for independent space associations that they can launch from. People like Elon Musk. Imagine if there were 10 people like Elon Musk on the planet, which, by the way, thank you, Elon Musk. Honestly, I don't know if you guys think what I think, but I believe Elon Musk is between an elite and a good person. He's like just on the borderline. Very good guy. He was rooting for the Canadian trucker. So I like that he does things and not hide things, actually. You know, he smoked a doobie on Joe Rogan's channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. I know I don't like you guys told me not to have a big head or anything, but I would love to get on shows like that because I do believe, honestly, if you ask me how many captures I have to be able that I would offer, like to the Pentagon, if I had a chance, which I did, by the way, at the convention. Okay, that's why they're blocking me, apparently. But if I had a chance to show my research, I would only show 2 or 3 captures, and it would be only the captures that I am positive are UFOs. All of them. The one that's winding left and right. You got the one coming out of the crater or lifting off the surface of the moon, one under the hazes. But the people are coming to see the research. I'm really grateful for that, for sure. Ils ont fermé le pont entre Gatineau et Ottawa. Uh-oh. Là, les hélicoptères, I'll tell you guys in a second. Il y a des hélicoptères qui sont en train de suivre. Je regarde sur Flight Radar 24, Flight Radar 24, et les hélicoptères, ils se promènent sur l'autoroute jusqu'au 401, puis tout, puis ils sont en train de surveiller tout le trafic. Puis là, tu parles, ça naît d'un endroit entre Gatineau et Ottawa. Fait qu'ils vont fermer des chemins. They could be closing off roads. Well, bad news for that. Like Marcus Free said, they closed the bridge between Gatineau and Ottawa. That is so uncool because there's so many thousands of truck drivers that are leaving everywhere, east of Quebec, north of Quebec. They're all rooting themselves to get to that auto route, those auto routes. And sometimes there's certain bridges, most often a lot of water here, that they have to go over. Merci de partager ça, Marcus. That's too bad that they did that. Heard a trucker rammed into another trucker. A trucker rammed into another trucker. Yeah. Maybe because the asshole deserved it. Goes two ways, the story, eh? Look at it the way you want. All I know is that every truck driver that's going towards that bigger asshole, Trudeau, is the one I'm worried about. The bad truckers are probably the ones that are from other countries. Not Canadians. Yeah, Canadian truckers are badass. No, you have to respect the convoy. If you're on the highway and you're going to try to pass the trucks and you get your mirrors ripped off and stuff, well, it's your problem. That's how I look at it. It's the first time in the world that Quebecers band together for a traffic jam. Okay. That's never before been seen. Never mind about the amount of people banding together to create a havoc. So here's the thing. Those of you on the road, you're going to be pissed because you got to still go to work, may even lose money because of the traffic and stuff like that. Well, we have to sacrifice. And if we're not the ones going to drive up to Parliament Hill, we should respect the truckers that are. There are too many truckers. They're not going to be able to all get up there. I'm telling you, there's so many truckers, Mr. Towers. You should see them here. Beautiful. Bruce, ace work on the sun. Thanks. The magnetic North Pole is moving south at 5 miles a month. See, thanks, Tony, for sharing that. It will be at 40 degrees in 14 months. Well, see, that's what's going to happen. At one point, there's going to be that complete shift. I mean, I'm no genius, Tony. I'm looking up online. They're talking about in the past, which, like me, the sun, they know nothing about it, not much. They talk about the shift that was occurring many years ago. They're saying maybe even now that the shift that's occurring right now is from after 43,000 years of cooling or processes during an ice age, which is like drastically long. Ice age, it doesn't get cold right away. It gets really hot. There's a cooling period. I mean, not a cooling period, but there's a period where it's warmer, and then it gets cold. But anyways, it makes me laugh. All the bullcrap that they're saying in the news. I try to get information, and I go back and I research what I just found on other places, and it seems that everybody has sort of their own opinions. It's not that it's very different, but you can see that nobody knows what's gonna happen. Watching the sun and everything is really scary. And online, I mean, with what they're talking about, the when you really start, only this year's only the first year I really started doing this, is getting into understanding the graphs about the sun and everything. There's lots to understand, you know, the spectroscopy and everything, to be able to understand and see the sun and stuff. I will be getting filters for that, by the way, so that we can see the different events that are occurring on the sun. You know, there's a filter so you can see the photons. And notice that when NASA does these um, filterings or different monitors or whatever they're using, notice the color. It's green, you know, so you can see better in the filtering and stuff. That's often why I'll use that color, because it helps our eyes see better. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Really appreciate it. Au Québec, il n'y aura pas autant de violence qu'aux États-Unis. Selon moi aussi. Mais j'espère. Je l'espère. Mais, tu sais, Stéphanie, il y a eu infiltration aux États-Unis, où ce que c'est le CIA, le 6 janvier, qui ont causé le style d'infiltration au capital. Ils sont capables de faire ça aussi avec des agents. Même principe au Canada. Puis les autres, ils font ça comme tactique de peur. It's fear tactics. Yeah, you said it, Jaybird. They're playing God. Hey, One Big Pond, welcome. Saw a vid on here. Someone made a meat grape. It's starting to get scary to stuff the videos, eh? There's a lot of videos. I don't know if you guys notice. Once in a while, do you do like me? You go ponder in those videos where they're doing experiments, like, you know, boiling certain water and the acids and stuff, and doing a whole bunch of tests. And got a lot of smart people in this world. Experimentation. I've seen some very clever and also at the same time concerning videos. You know, this are some concerning videos on YouTube. I wonder if they're real or not. Clint Richardson, welcome. Yeah, I heard about that too. Also a mention of its color, green, like they said, the fluoride, because of the bodies. And it's all true, I saw, you know, people say they want to make us eat bugs. You imagine that you're going to go and you're going to see a bunch of worms under plastic and stuff, probably most likely, but no, is that they're breaking this down into a powder. They can even give it to you in a pill without you knowing it. It's, you know, I saw it, the worms, the maggots, it was a brown powder that they made when they broke that down, and they compact that together. They can put it in foods, they can put it in chips, they can put it in anything, right? Because they some insects are high in minerals. I don't give a crap. Okay, they should have started that at the beginning. For what I had to eat bugs when I was a kid, no problem. I wouldn't mind today. But you don't go and take away someone's, you know, habit or menu if you want, and say, hey, here, have some bugs. Come on. It's like saying to your kids, we're going to McDonald's. Then you pull into McDonald's and you go, no, no, you know what, kids? We're making banana sandwiches. Yeah. Then you go home. That's about the same effect as how I feel when they tell me, hey, eat bugs. Come on. It's all about big pharma here in States. It really is, Alyssa. And everything that's going on around the world is all because of what's going on centrally in the United States. We have the CIA that is in every country. Don't forget MK Ultra. A little quick refill, everybody. Sorry. Forgive me. MK Ultra in 1980s. And why was I going to talk about that? See, they already manipulated my brain. I don't remember. I was going to talk about MK Ultra. That all started here in the 1980s, right here in Montreal. Van Allen Hospital. Oh, yeah, that's why I was talking about that. Because, everyone says, well, CIA, it's not Canadian, right? We have the RCMP here and we have a spy agency here too, a Canadian spy agency. We have a whole bunch of similar associations in the States, but the words are all different. But it's all about Big Pharma. That's how it is. They took over, the CIA running the world, and MK Ultra. Helm. Helm. Remember him? Familiar name with. I'm going back here. Project Paperclip, and a lot of people don't know that Project Paperclip was actually during the Cold War. After the Cold War, it was the Cold War, and what happened is it's the Germans. It's all hundreds and hundreds. I don't know how many people of them or how many of them. German physicians and doctors and whatnot, scientists that came into America to start doing some experimentation. And this experimentation was done on children that were declared having been sent to an orphanage because they were mentally ill when they were not mentally ill. It was just all the parents that were getting rid of their kids and leaving them at a doorstep, which the government basically made it easy for them to do so. But in joint with the association of the CIA, they were sending kids over to Canada. They were funneling them in underground at an orphanage right here in Franklin, Doria. And a lot of them had lobotomies and were experimented on. And of course, most of them were sexually abused. And it's the Canadian Holocaust. For those of you who want to familiarize yourself, it's something that's hard to find online. But if you write in the Canadian Holocaust, you go back in the time of Duplessis, Maurice Duplessis, and the ones in charge, very bad people, selling the children literally to the States and the CIA for experimentation and needs of, in case they were to go back to war with the Germans, or maybe to prevent what was to come with the Russians. It's like Helms destroyed over 30,000 files of Project Paperclip in the 70s, I believe, and only very few files were retrieved. But the ones that were retrieved, it proved that they were doing experimentation on humans. So some of them even said that some of the experimentation was too drastic to do to humans, so they did not want to pursue certain things. So often when they say these associations close, they don't close. But do you believe me that MK Ultra even has to do with all those UFO lights that we're seeing? I think we could be a bit more advanced, and people maybe think that we are advanced. And I think there's a sort of sinister plan that the elites are doing. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do, actually. Everything we see in movies that is ridiculous and that most of us say that's not real, that wouldn't happen. That's stupid, so stupid. I think most of it's all happening, right? It's crazy stuff. They claim the faux beef bleeds when you cook it just like real meat too. Ugra. That is. It's. I don't know what to say, man. It freaks me out. It freaks me out. As hard as it is to believe, looking at my size, I'm not a big meat eater. Actually, to eat meat, guys, I have to cook it like a boot, and not like, hey, I'm all a boot, because Canadians don't say that. Only in PEI and Newfoundland. Just let you know. Just let my American friends know that. When they talk about Canadians, they go, they talk like a boot. No, we don't. Lots of different. The States is like that too. As you go up and down each state, there's a different accent to each state, and they're really cool accents. I like them. Mike Tags, 10 years ago, Alex Jones, my buddy, spoke about most things that are happening now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And most of the reason, every time I talk to you about Bilderberg or the New World Order and everything that's going on, it's mostly always Alex Jones and Owen and everyone is what they're all talking about there on Infowars.com. He was taking off all the social media platforms, and even when he was live streaming the Capitol on January 6th, all of you who went there, he was having problems. I was getting 503 or 404 messages, error messages. I had a hard time getting onto his stream, so they're continually trying to take him down all the time. Hey, Mike, Alex Jones was supposed to take a break this year, a couple of months, and it's funny, the exact day that he said he was going to do that, I think the next day, the UK took down the mandates. Interesting. Oh yeah, the Montauk Project. So many projects, and all these projects are being done like in our faces. It's incredible. Hey, Victor Vic, how's it going, brother? Let me scroll down here. Thanks again, you guys, for being here, my friends. Uksifko, how's it going? Bye-bye. Oh, I didn't have time. Darn it, the mods are faster than me. Yeah, kind of scary how much Alex Jones has gotten it right. It absolutely is. And you know how in Hollywood, the scary thing where even the Simpsons, the Family Guy episodes and all that, they're really on the money with certain predictions. So we obviously know there is maybe a prediction. Thank you, Darla. Yes, that's Barb Weist channel, guys. I love Barb Weist. I have to catch up. I have 2 videos to catch up for her there. Exactly. I don't remember what I was saying now. Let's go to this. I hope I was talking about that. Yeah, Alex Jones. He's gotten it right because, like I said, Hollywood, somebody knows something. There's a book, there's some information out there, and the ones that really connect with the truth seekers, maybe it's on the dark web, and not just the dark web, the dark web, 3 sections of the web. The internet that we go on is nothing. It's not even 1% what there is on the deep web. There's the deep web, there's the dark web. The deep web is the entire web, and it's not a good place. It's not a place you want to venture. It's a place I've gone before many years ago to venture, and I got hacked. So, and I wasn't even clicking on anything. Just to let you know, bad places in the world. Oh, they're talking about birds in space now. Where's this? Let me take a guess. Around the moon? I know 2 birds in space. I went up in 1969. Buzz and Neil. Those 2 birds. Hey, Barb Weiss, the same with you. And I really appreciate the, generous support that you give the channel, Barb. And of course, every video I miss, say to yourself, it's because I didn't have time to go by, because if not, I will. And I will catch up. I love connecting, Barb, with people. Of course, I can't interact with everyone because I got a lot of people coming by. But honestly, Barb, there's a handful of you that I really speak to. And all of you know it, Christy, Darla, all you people that are here, I am Kai and stuff. I go to your channels and stuff, Peter, but I don't go to 100,000 channels. There's a lot of people that, I just couldn't go to all those channels. Oh, Benny Bunny with her little links. Let's see if the mods got to her first. Gosh, you mods are quick. Let me scroll all the way down there. Something I rarely do. Right, Darla? I do this every time. Darla must laugh. Everybody knows. He says the same thing. He's half an hour ahead of time. Even Julie Stats is so kind. I'm even sure she already posted it. Take the time to write ahead of time because Bruce took a effing long time to be able to respond to you. Thanks again, old lady. Patriot 64. Even though you don't look old. Vaders. You said it. Definitely the Fourth Reich. Yep, the third, they tried it. He wrote Mein Kampf. Killed himself. Got married the day before he did. Big life for Adolf Hitler. And Hey, you ever wonder how come there's not a lot of family members in the world that have the family name Hitler, or are they hiding that? Yeah, okay, probably, probably most definitely hiding it. It's true though. It's weird though, eh? You don't see someone you go to school, hey, what's your name? Alex Hitler. Oh, jeez. Okay. Thanks, Mike, for being here. Je suis dans Charlevoix, un peu avant Bois-Saint-Paul, un village de 1500 habitants. Saint-Tite des Caps. Hey, yes, sir, Victor. Thanks, brother. Ça, c'est des villes que j'aime. À peu près ça dans ma ville ici, mon frère. Il n'y en a pas gros. On est en bas de 2000. Puis ça fait bien mon affaire, hein? C'est les grandes villes qui sont en train de se faire persécuter. There's 3 million tons of mercury at the moon's south pole. That's why the U.S. wants to go there first. You don't want them getting to Mercury. That's for sure. Not good what these guys are doing. They don't want anything clean, do they? Hey, Jason Beresny, how's it going, brother? They don't want anything clean, do they? Lol, I remember making a pulse jet engine in grade 5 or 6. My dad's garage with RC toy car, nitro fuel, laughed my ass off. The good old days. You know what the worst of it is, eh? If you were doing that when you were younger and it's because as a kid, well, you never know, man. You were maybe an inventor in another life. You never know. But yeah, the good old days. Me, I just remember trying to drive my bike, not wanting my ass to look too big. Fast food. Vegan burgers are so processed as the meat alternatives and market them as a healthy alternative. Lies. That's another thing, bro. And it's just, well, it's not just coming out, but for me, it is. And I'm starting to see it. A lot of people are talking about it. They say, hey, order a veggie burger or order this. Like, remember when they used to tell people, hey, vape instead of smoking cigarettes, never mind the tobacco, vape. And it causes cancer, some of them. And so stupid, because they call it vegan. Unreal. It's unreal. Yep, definitely. Vincent call, Victor. Wendy H is here. Thanks, Wendy. Yes. Blizzard 2022 is a precursor to alien invasion. Richard, Barry, thanks for being here, man. That's another thing. That would be the best of all red flag event to do. And like you said it, not just a storm. We're talking about a blizzard. We're talking where we get 4 times, a foot or two, like 3 or 4, 5, 6 feet to fall to bunker us all down for months. And then they say, stay put, stay in place. People will go door to door and inform you what's going on. And the electricity can be out for a while. And don't forget, every year, Richard, that test, it's not true. I'm sorry. Not necessarily every year. It can happen once every a year or 3 where all the countries do a simulation attack, right? This is something they practice with. And when they do this, you have British pilots, you have pilots from India, Canadian pilots, United pilots, the United Emirates. They all get together with their jets, even China. They all get together with their jets and they do a simulation of a real occurrence, a real event, right? And it's real simulation. Like, during 9/11, when the ones that were told to scramble to the Trade Center or try to locate a Boeing plane with a certain flight number that was out of airspace and it was headed towards New York City, and you could hear the jet pilot saying, "Is this real time?" Because there's a simulation they do, and that scares me because the simulations that they do, and this is the truth, from what I research, the simulations that they do are real time, like real life simulations. So if it's like a bomb or something that went off, they really have the bomb go off. I'm not saying they're going to do it in buildings or not, but they do this, a real cataclysmic event, and they do these real events. They cause them, and then they go and um, practice, try to get there and do a simulation of what would really happen. So if they're going to do a red flag event, we could even be in the red flag event right now. The C and the V could all be a red flag event, right? Like I know I'm pushing it there. I know it isn't, but it could have parts to do with it. Maybe the red flag event is not a one-day thing. Maybe the red flag event is a series of events that will lead up to this big red flag event where everyone's going to believe it because they will be fearful. They almost got everyone with the V's when they started saying, "My God, everyone's going to die. Everyone in the world's going to die. We have to go get the V because everyone's going to die. You're going to lose your kid. You're going to lose your dog. You know, hide your kids, hide your wife." You know, those who understood that joke, the black popular guy online. But anyways, it's true. Simulations, they can fake anything. And here's the problem. How can they do that successfully? Hollywood, they own the media, big pharma, and the CIA and the FBI and many subdivisions of military branches and stuff. They're all controlling everything to keep the secret. So the ones that we believe are protecting us are actually hiding the secret. And you can't blame the people in the military because only a few high ranking people know what's going on. Everyone else really is there to help, you know? That's how I look at it. I did my Kramer. It's true though. Yeah, and they're making out to be horrible nowadays, where all the old lost tech mercury was the most important element. You see, that's the thing, eh? Everything. How do you hide a truth? You insert a convincing lie, and that's all it takes. And then things change. We don't know anymore what's good and what's not. All I know is that it's not good to play with mercury. That's what they say. It's cancerous. But again, they said that. Imagine if, and I gotta be careful saying this because it's not, but if mercury was helpful to our body and we didn't know it, well, they would tell us that to stay away from the mercury, you know. I don't want to be the first to try it though. Mazin, Marcus Free. Boobs coin certain. Notre ami Victor Levic. Wendy H, I'm cooking dinner, but I'm watching. Wendy H, thank you so much, you guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, definitely, Mike. That's what they were saying. A big cyclone bomb, weather bomb. They were saying a snow bomb coming our way. But like Darla said, it apparently changed, but that's not necessarily good. It could change for the worse. It's like you can't predict anything anymore. It's very hard to predict. 1,600 German scientists, oh yes, along with their families, were brought to the United States under paperclip. Exactly. Exactly. And they were here. And don't forget, Dan James, thanks for sharing that. They also hid them. The Americans, the government hid them. CIA probably, definitely hid them here in the States. And some of them, like even Hitler at one point, there's lots of stories with Hitler, right? Like I said, to hide the truth, you integrate a lie. Hitler, I think, was in Argentina or something like that. There are videos of people saying that they saw him and finish his life there and became an old man and died. Then there's a story of him in the bunker, you know, got married and then, you know, took his life. And then one had cyanide, I think, is a new bride, and him, it was one shot to the head. But then I don't know. There's different things of what they say of how he passed away, right? Yeah, that's it, Kellen. Exactly. Exactly. Even me, I was always very careful to tell them, you know, be careful, don't play with mercury. Mercury, Kellen, red mercury. There is, I think, even a bit more than a rumor. Have you ever heard of Mark Felton Productions? It's a YouTube channel, Mark Felton Productions. I go there and I watch his videos because he talks about the Nazis, the SS, and the German war, how the Nazis were, you know, suppressing the people, everything that goes on. And he talks about several UFOs that were designed by the Germans, and one quite impressive, which actually looks like a futuristic jet and could do 1,000 or 1,100 miles an hour or kilometers an hour, I think, which was incredibly excessively, ridiculously advanced for that time and era. Red mercury was used in the anti-gravity system in one of the UFOs that they patented, literally, that apparently functioned. Red mercury is what was inside of it to make it function. And, so I'm just thinking of that because we're talking about the red mercury and stuff. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's everything's backwards, right? Lots of things that we were taught are backwards, Cullen. Definitely. C'est vrai, Victor. C'est vrai que c'est tranquille ici, hein? À comparer. Mais puis ça fait son temps, hein? Up and down ici. Mois de janvier, là, ça pogne une méchante tranquillité, vraiment, vraiment tranquille. Février, habituellement, ça rapporte. J'espère que ça va repartir. Tony Brooks says the FBI now say Hitler and Eva Braun, yes, that was the word I was looking for, went by submarine to Antarctica at the end of the war. But see, that's very interesting to me, Tony Brooks. You know why? And I'm going to bring you guys there after the winter's over. I think I promised to do so and I didn't. That would be a cool. It's a little ways, probably an hour away, maybe not that much. Yeah. Here, Tony, we find like around the world a lot of old anchors that wind up in the bottom of the St. Lawrence here, around here, and the little river ways that are around the region, because back in the day, these little waterways were not very wide, but were very, very deep, and there were very big ships that were going by there. So, of course, there must be a lot of anchors. There are a lot of anchors in the bottom. We found one, not me in particularly, but the town, found an anchor with the Nazi logo on it. And I'm telling you guys, this black anchor, much larger than a screen here, you wouldn't see it. It's ginormous, about as high as me. And that was found in the bottom of the water. So unless it was a joke, yeah, let's grab this anchor and let's dump it out here. And in 100 years, they'll find it. It makes no sense. And you're not going to tell me, no way in hell, that an anchor in the bottom of the ocean is going to come all the way down here. Maybe yes. Maybe, like, I'm no expert. Maybe it sounds stupid because you're going to say, yes, anchors can, flow around the bottom. Maybe they can. It was one hell of a big anchor. But again, in the war, there was no Nazi ship that went to like right here, but the anchor's there. So that's very concerning. Hey, I'm Marcus Free. Ici, là, au Québec, en tout cas, hein, au Québec, moi, je suis pas, j'ai pas de vie. Fait que je peux pas aller au sac acheter de l'alcool, je peux pas aller dans les films, pas aller dans les restos. C'est plate. Mais c'est comme ça. Ça ne durera pas longtemps, là. Psychic Medium Jason in the house. Tell Bruce how the spirit. You tell Bruce how the spirit activity. Let me scroll up. Psychic Medium Jason. Did I miss something, my friend? Sorry. I don't see it. Yoga with Denise. Hello, Javi. Javi, thank you very much for being here. Wendy H. I'm tired telling my family this. They think I'm nuts. Hang in there. Hey, Luz. Hello, or Luz. Hello. Wendy H. Hello, she says. Yeah, hang in there, Wendy H. And keep at it. Keep trying to convince them. There are 250. Oh, sorry, 2,500,000 on the moon at the poles. I believe it. John Lear, when he saw my work, even though he did try to hack my computer, when he saw my work, he declared that there was a lot of people on the moon when he saw the structures and the lights. I think that's what they were waiting for, is one proof. Wanted one person to have a bit of a proof there was something on the moon. How's it going, Don James? Dan, sorry. 600. Oh, yeah, I read that before, which was an important one. Yes. Project Paperclip. Kermit Clemens is in the house. Hey, Trump all the way. Probably coming back too, my friend. He's there. He's getting closer and closer. Back. Biden, we got to get rid of. Impeachment for him in 2023, they're talking about. The suburbs of fostering the illusion of success since 1950. Yes, sir. The U.S. moved their experimental unit inland from the coast of the U.S., where the Montauk monster was found. Interesting, eh? They talk about transhumans here in under the mountain, Montreal, under the Mont Royal. Interesting. Other beings, a suppression of the heavens from truly opening for all to unite has to be the way of transhumanism we are all experiencing at the moment. I agree with that. One Big Pond, thank you very much for sharing that. You said it. One quick second, everybody. So can I see any stars? Let me see. Are there any stars out there? Hello. I think the live stream breaks the sky. Every time I have a live stream, it breaks the sky. I go back outside and it's like the sky is broken. There's some nice bright lights. Hey, Beth, no, yes. Hey, on a quick break. Happy to see you all. I blow my nose. Take over, Beth. You got the reins. Take over. You know, people blow their nose because it's full of crap. I blow my nose because it's dry. Never anything. And how was your evening at work, Beth? No, yes. People are still coming in, Beth. You should see the convoy in Ottawa. You should see the amount of people that are there. And don't forget, guys, all night you're going to hear, no, I guess not. I hope so. I hope Trudeau's like close to one of the windows, looking outside, like really dim, like just in his, looking outside. Are you sure the security? Yes, no danger, sir. No danger, Mr. Prime Minister. Don't worry about it. We got everything. We got your back. Just don't worry about it. What's that? It's just me, sir. These people must be stressed out. What they're doing to the people, they must be really stressed out. Always just stay prepared no matter what, tornado, snow. Exactly. That's what we have to do. Thanks again, Beth. That's what we have to do. There's nothing else we can do. Hey, Kellen, thanks for sharing that, man. I'm 100% from my brother Alex. Listen, I love the guy for what he brought out, the truth that he brought out. Even way back when he was starting to talk about gay frogs, there's truth in everything he said, even the frogs. Well, I got a good laugh, but I believe him. Obviously, he had some connections there. Don't forget, during January 6th and all the crap that was going on, he was in contact with CIA members and FBI members and people from the Senate and Congress and Trump even and stuff. People really did connect with him because the bullcrap media is lying and hiding everything. They're still doing the fear tactics there with the Omicron there. They're not stopping. They're not letting up with it. Evil is forbidden. Thanks for coming back, my friends. We are 100 times more advanced than people think. Yes. Holograms, virtual worlds, drones are all public. What isn't public is what scares me the most. Like the looking glass, mirror, mirror on the wall. That is beyond our knowledge. And it's what is the most interesting. Um, We are like moths, like a group of moths. Do we say a group of moth or moths? Anyways, a bunch of moths going into the lights. We don't know what the hell it is, but the light's beautiful. We want to go get closer to see what's going on. Portals, changing dimensions and stuff. I've never been so afraid in my bloody life, guys. I've had a lot of spiritual encounters, and I've seen the cloaked people. You know why it gets to me? I get chills when I see them putting in the movie with the cloak. Why? Why not make a goblin or something else? No, they use in particularly those black cloaks. And the scary part is now I had chills thinking that the reason why I saw those 4 black cloaks with the hoods around me and I couldn't see their faces. Imagine if they weren't human. And now, listen, some of you probably saying, wait a minute, can you back up the boat there and start the story over? That's spiritual encounter right in my home. Entities in front of me appear and they come really close to me. I couldn't move. Imagine me holding you down on your bed just by having you not be able to move, but you don't feel a struggle. You can't struggle because you can't even budge, And when that happened, what would you do if you're stuck in your bed and you can't move? Obviously, the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna try to see if you can speak, and I couldn't even speak. It was very, very scary feeling, an overpowering feeling. I was screaming to my mother next door when I was able to finally speak, banging on the wall because I didn't want to leave from under my blankets. I was really scared. She couldn't hear me. So I believe evil is forbidden. That's playing with demonic forces, man, or dark forces, right? We all like to add that in there, the demonic force. But I'll be honest with you, it's very dangerous, powerful energy um, that that is doing all this. In other words, in the past, when my dad died, I thrived off these sightings because I thought it was my father coming back to see me, right? What kid would not want to see his dad losing him at 6.5 years old in a tragic accident? But I always say maybe it was him. I did get signs from him. He still communicates, but been a long time. But it happened. The connection happened. But now I think, what if it was aliens? Because now I study entities and a whole bunch of different things. That's the scary stuff. So, wow. Well, Darla, I think psychic medium Jason maybe read my mind because that's what I was going to talk about. I wanted to so much to talk about it. Very interesting. Give me a second. Jesus, Murphy, I'll put a bit more coffee in this. And I'm going to tell you about what happened just this week. There is an energy in the house. That's for sure. It's 100% for sure. There's an energy in the house. And movement again around the cupboard area. Like I told you guys, when I had the movement, it was always around where the water is. A long time ago, I had bottles move, like literally be picked up and cling, 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 cling till I came downstairs to see what was going on. I saw this was many couple of months ago. I have problems with my dates and times, so at least a couple of months. I'm busy doing work and I don't forget sometimes, but it was a little while back, couple months ago, before the snow hit and everything. I was in the back room. The back room's my dark room because I put my telescope in that room, and I have a couple of other storage unit. Basically, I'm alone. I'm single, so I'm a guy. So the back room's for storage. Hey, that's what I do. And I was actually on the phone with my mother, talking with her, and I went to the back room, and right beside the door, looking at me, was a dark figure. And I really, for the first time, I went, "Wah!" because it was so close to me. And it was a bit more physical than the other dark objects I see because I always see shadows. I don't know. I've never seen an alien roaming around or even entities. Um, you know, it's always light phenomena. I've seen a lot of encounters where it's only a light. It's a big ball of light, or it makes a sound and stuff. It's happened to me 10 times. I've had a lot of spiritual encounters, and I've encounters that defy reality that would scare some of you for sure. Like the one that the shadow of my friend JP that stopped following him and moved on his own, JP in the woods there, stickut JP there. He's probably wondering what the hell I'm saying about him. But this guy in the woods got possessed. I don't care what anybody says. We even fought about that at one point. He was so possessed. We were drinking in the woods. We're out in the pit in St. Polycarp. You could look it up, St. Polycarp. Polycarp with an E in Quebec. You look at the pit where the camping is. Used to be an old Hells Angels reunion point where, anyways, if you go swimming there, be careful. A lot of old cars in there. That's all I'm going to say. They used to wind up there. There's a nudist colony that used to be there also. And long story short, he gets possessed. Something happens to him. And there's a fire there, and he starts drawing in the sand and stuff. Yeah, like in the movie, triangles and stuff. And he gets mad. He whips the stick at me. Then he starts getting mad at his brother and stuff. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm going to bed. And then it happened. An apparition, okay, with three guys sitting in the woods, an apparition of light, an instantaneous fire that appears in the middle of the little forest that was on the other side. It's all sandpit dunes, guys. Sandpit dunes. Ever party in sand dunes? Really fun. Go from pocket to forest, little patches of woods. They start beating drums and talking. Now you see, back then I had no idea about the Illuminati. I was just 2-3 years away from learning about it after I hit 18 and 19, 20 years old. I was probably younger than that. And there was a bunch of people around a fire. So of course, to be brave, I'm always the funny guy at the party. So I'm going to be the brave guy, and some girls there and stuff. So ran up to that other wood. So we'll hit there, my little beer and running like that, laughing, looking back. Okay, I'm getting close. And I get to drop my beer. At least 250 people there, all in cloaks. And I remember I could only see the one that was close to the friggin' fire, had a big ass red or purple cloak on and a big hood. And he's going, roll, 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 and he's throwing shit in the fire and making fire go up and stuff. So it's obviously a cult of some type. We turned around, even though we were young. I said to my friend, it's incredible, but some type of, cult or whatever. We're not going to go over there. And it stayed like that. But there was nobody there because we went. And when we got our courage, and when we went there, there was nobody there and there was no fire. Because the first thing I tried to do, this took an hour. It took a long time for us to get the balls to go there. But there was no more noise and there was no fire. There was no fire pit there either. Okay, maybe, I don't know, whatever. But in that part of the woods, there were murders there. There were deaths there. And it's a very mysterious place. So one, people that do demonic incantations or to do worship to the devil on occasions, it's like us, we have our Christmas trees. Well, they like to go out in the woods and, bring a virgin or two or whatever, a baby, whatever they like doing, right? And they do these ceremonies where they do offerings to the devil. And sometimes it's something living that they offer. Most often an animal. They use the blood and they pour it on something like candles and a whole bunch of incantations that they do. But these really exist. And people with those groups go into the woods, especially around in Quebec, from here to Montreal, most definitely, because they're in the dark woods and there's a lot of energy, dark energy there. And probably when they do stuff there, that's how the energy, creates all the evil. It's like, oof, scary stuff. I've seen some scary stuff. So Alex Jones on Getter every day still. He's also on band.com, but I don't know. I'm not even sure if that was, he had problems with his band.com, right? At 1.2, and he opened another site, Future News, something like that, right? He opened up. I always like, shout him out once in a while for those who do know him when they come by. A lot of people go, oh, you go there and the windows open up, they want you to buy stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, Go there. I go there 10, 20, 30 times a day, sometimes 40 times. No jokes. Those boxes only pop up once or twice. They won't pop up all day. And he sells vitamins and vitamins with vitamin C. Vitamin C with zinc, for example. All these different types of bottles that he can buy. I don't know about the prices because I never checked the prices, but if you're in the States and you're buying, pharmaceutical products, you should check out his prices because he always has deals off, like 40% off and stuff like that. They're busy guys. Kellen, I tried to reach Alex Jones about the moon probably last year with what was going on, and I told him, please take the time to look at it. You don't even have to get back to me. Just, know that something's going on the moon, but I never got any feedback back. I don't blame them. Listen, these guys are beyond busy. He has millions and millions of viewers watching him too. Hey, Connie, how's it going? Hey, Fatty McButterpants. I didn't even see him. Denny Adams, mais Victor, c'est juste pour pouvoir dire sac dans l'épicerie de bonheur, ouais. Ouais, SAQ, moi, je suis pogné pour plus y aller, puis ça m'écoeure. Puis je te dis, ça ne fera pas longtemps. Ça sera pas trop long, il y en a un qui va aller. Ils vont avoir des problèmes. Il y a déjà un. En tout cas, dites-vous, les mandats là, sont finis. Hein? C'est juste qu'ils vont traîner ça en France comme euh, plusieurs semaines ou plusieurs mois, mais il ne pourra pas faire grand-chose, escroc. Macron. Hey, coming down thick here in Kentucky. Oh boy. See, we were supposed to get some snow, so maybe we're not going to get any. I hope not, but I tend to think maybe watch it probably even be snowing. Simone, how's it going? Nice to see you, Simone. Hey, I've been so caught up with our truckers convoy happening lately. I don't blame you, and keep watching. I've been doing it too. Listen to them on Zello and everything. Law, yeah, and listen. I got really emotional seeing the Simone. Do you see how many trucks are there? I've never seen that many trucks on the auto routes in a row. That's I would say, is it the biggest convoy? Maybe I'm not even close. It's the biggest convoy in Quebec I've ever seen, which I am sure by Sunday, they're not stopping till Monday to go up there. And I'm sure that before Saturday, probably during tomorrow, Saturday, the convoy will be over 125 kilometers long. I think somebody already told me it was like 70 or 100 kilometers long already. And of course, there's more leaving. I saw some leaving all day here, Simone, from the Montreal, going through Montreal, coming from east in Quebec, Rivière-du-Loup, way down in Quebec. They're all going up to Ottawa. Pretty cool. Matt Groening was probably a high-ranking Freemason who got to look through the looking glass. See, Kellen, that's the thing. That's what I should have said before when I was trying to express that certain elites, maybe certain bloodlines, or they give permissions to certain people, little passes. Maybe some of them had the chance to go to the moon and see what it was like and come back, right? I believe that. And high-ranking Freemason. You see, the Masons are a lot of the people that were in charge. And you go back to George Washington, even the presidents, they were all Masons, and they all have their rankings, and even you can see them, with their doing the different levels that they had and stuff. And people really still don't know that today. Lots of stories around the associations. There's stories around the Skull and Bones, there's stories around a whole bunch of associations, but how did it all start exactly, and why did it all start, and what, who's funding it? And yeah, it's a big gate smasher. Do you think we have a base on the moon, or were we told not to develop one? Mars 2. That is an amazing question. I could probably talk for hours about that one. I do think there's a base on the moon, but I do believe we were also told not to develop one, meaning the base or the constructed objects that are there now, I have a hard time believing that they're human. It could be a breakaway civilization or an ancient civilization that died there. Could you imagine that, though? If there was a cataclysmic event on the moon where millions or billions of people lived, and that when you go and land on the moon, the remnants of all where people remained at the moment there was that cataclysmic event or apocalyptic event, they would be able to retrieve all the bodies and see who was there and what type of people were there, what they were doing. Because when I see those lights going around the moon, it really does look a lot sometimes like they're caravanning around. They're flying around the surface. If they're going in and out of the craters, they could be investigating, experimenting, doing tests. But then again, they could be going right into the moon because the bases are hiding there, and the moons or bases that we see on top could be where the people remain on top, and all the lights go into the moon. So they could enter. Like, in other words, if you were to enter a base, I'm sure they didn't go up to the base and land there. They would go completely, maybe 100 miles or 300 miles to the west or north, and they would go in this tunnel, lit tunnel. They probably don't even have to drive in it. Just sit down and you're on this track, bring the light to where you want to go. This is all very possible to do. I believe they're inside of the moon too. Mars is very interesting. I believe, Gate Smasher, I believe if ever there were humans on another celestial object, I do believe Mars could be a bit more possible there than on the moon, actually, when you think of it. Definitely sure that aliens are also on the moon too. I believe that we coexist with aliens the way we coexist with insects. Same thing. Different species, different life, different meaning, and we all coexist together. But you know what? It all has to do with intelligence of the race and the species. The insects, sure, they're intelligent, but maybe not as intelligent as humans, Has a fly ever sat down and said, "Holy crap, did you see this guy's car?" Don't think so. When you think of it, they have no idea, right? For them, it's a natural environment, no matter where they land, right? Well, why am I saying that? It's because I believe that's how humans are. Us too, we believe that we have this realistic illusion, very convincing illusion, very realistic, and we base our belief system on what we're told, what's written in books, what we see in data or on the internet, when we listen to the news media. But it's a big manipulation. And when you sit down and try to think of on your own some common sense, like when I told people there was atmosphere on the moon, I understand that they professionally responded to me and got mad at me by saying, well, so and so said this, the astronaut said this, and that guy said that, it can't be, and stuff. And I always laughed at that and said, maybe they were friggin' lying. And they always laughed at me, but it's true. Maybe they were lying, right? Because I'm visually seeing a whole shitload of stuff on the moon, excuse the expression. So I'm sure that NASA sees a lot closer on the moon. Hubble telescope, replaced by the James Webb telescope, very recently was launched. We're talking about a telescope, James Webb, which is 100 times stronger than Hubble. That's right, 100 times stronger than Hubble. Hubble had hundreds of filters and different functions and did a whole bunch of things. I can only imagine what the James Webb telescope is doing. But they're going further out, right? They're going to look for life and water further out. They're not going to necessarily stick around Earth, I don't think, or the moon. There's Fatty McButterpants. Now I saw him. That was a good question, Gate Smasher. Thanks. Kellen, everybody, thanks for contributing. If you're here, you're definitely contributing to the channel. And thanks for those of you who took the time to become members. And I appreciate every way that you contribute to the channel. Watching the channel, watching the videos is a major contribution. Whoop, can't block them. The trolls blocked them. I'm not fast enough. Penny Bunny, I think, Darla, was the only one that had those shit links. No one else. I've never seen anyone else have them. Hello, sad boy. Welcome. Thank you very much. Christopher Rollins says the bird in space recorded outside of ISS did kind of, oh, shite. Really, eh? That's interesting. I didn't know about that one. Jacqueline. Salut, Jacqueline. Hi from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Hey, thank you very much. You ever get the feeling something? Yeah, Jacqueline, yes, 100%. And it is going to happen. It really is going to happen. Can we say safely now, since 2012, let's say, or 2010, all the bullcrap that people were saying and the ones, those religious channels that were saying, got nothing against religious channels, but still the ones, the false prophets, the end of the world, this. And again, when you give your opinion, if you tell the people that, this is my opinion or this is a theory, nothing wrong with telling people that you could think the world's going to explode. But a lot of people were saying it's without a doubt, this is going to occur on this date, on this date, and it doesn't occur. Never occurs. I do feel that something incredibly large is going to happen. And you know what, Jacqueline? Darty, I do not know if it's good or bad. That is what's getting to me. I had that feeling, but I don't know if it's good or bad. Angels, Andrew, what people, the idea that most people have of angels is what we see in the books. They show them in beautiful, nice, long gowns and very either handsome or beautiful, depending on it's a male or female, long, curly, blonde hair, blue eyes, the whole thing, right? The whole kit and caboodle. If I become an angel, well, I'm going to change the face of reality in heaven. Who the hell is this guy? And I don't think they're going to say that, though. Let me change what I was going to say. Who the heck? I'm sure they're going to say that in heaven. Who the heck is he? Right? Big Bruce with the big wings. I'm telling you, trolls, my wings will be large. But imagine, I still can't. Where's that bird in space? Is this something recent, Christopher? If ISS saw something like a bird, that means a bird would be flying at 455 kilometers over Earth. That'd be crazy stuff. Angels, Andrew said. I believe that angels are warriors. Look at it the way you want. If you want to look at the Bible, that's how I respond. People in religion that talk to me now, I look at the Bible and I get informed. God does have warriors, they say, and the people, they're not too cute. I don't know if you guys know it. Michelangelo wouldn't mess around with the guy. These are warrior savages that are killers for God. Now people are like, oh my God, he's defaming. No, that's who they are. They don't frig around, right? So, and this is a theory, but this is what I'm telling you. The angels that they portray are beautiful people inside, but they could be people, here goes, that are alien and different races or species. If God created a whole bunch of different beings from humans to pumans or whatever, right? And they're all together and they talk about them in the Bible and stuff. Well, people don't necessarily understand. And again, not telling someone a certain part of an information is not a lie. Now, I'm sure that's what they did. They didn't lie to us. Maybe they just took out that information from religion to hide it. A lot of people have theories. Maybe the Bible talks about the planets, the stars, and the galaxy. I like that. I like that a lot. You look sometimes, the sun, and don't forget, God, when they talk about, I don't know who it was, one of the prophets or Moses, whoever in the Bible, right? They're talking about God. There's a part, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is. It's in Revelations, and you're the most interesting one that I read all the time. In Revelations, they say God around him, and I won't linger on it. The moon and the stars on top or underneath him. You know what I mean? They talk about where he is, firmament over and under heaven. When you look at all those very precise, direct indications of what heaven is, where it can be, and stuff, you go, it's very astronomical, a lot like astronomy when you look at it. So I have a lot of theories that it could very well be that they're talking about the planets too. Or maybe they put the secret in not wanting a story about the planets or the solar system's end to be known, where they would have put integrated in the Bible that it's people. for example, um, that came down. When they say Jesus came down, who says it wasn't an alien or a UFO that came down? Maybe there's a lot of metaphorical significance, and maybe it's a lot of metaphors and read between the lines sort of thing in the Bible. It's like you can't read it literally. You got to really read between, yes, twain, read between the lines, because there's a lot of metaphors. There's a lot of hidden messages in the Bible, I find. And every time you go back to read it, it's always different. You always see something different. Thanks again, Jacqueline. Exactly, Gate Smasher. Exactly right about that. Let there be light, let there be darkness. And let it be known that those are the first two elements that they talk about in the Bible. Light, first there was light, then there was dark. I mean, first there was dark, then there was light. Either way. And created the moons and the heavens and created the stars, and very interesting. But dark matter is a part of the solar system too. All that dark matter with the black holes and stuff. And don't forget, dark matter is invisible. All we can see is the light from the atmosphere that's around it. If not, we wouldn't even be able to see black holes. They're just studying the black holes now. They're going to be sending things inside of the black holes. So can we safely say they've been experimenting with time travel probably about the time at least that I've been born, 46 years, without exaggerating? I believe that 100%. Thanks, Gate Smasher. Yoga with Denise. How do you? It's true when you think of it. Definitely take a couple more minutes here to say hello. Stuntman Mike. Anyone photo from the bird in space? Yeah, that's a good question there, Stuntman Mike. Yeah, probably Sammy Ann. Sammy M. The book Someday Else is on the Moon is very cool. Thanks, Sideboy, for sharing that. Ici, puis qu'il reste un guichet automatique, puis pas de quincaillerie, reste un restaurant. Wow, une station de service. Ah ouais, Denis, hein? Je sais pas, c'est bizarre. On dirait qu'ils veulent vraiment nous limiter, hein? Limiter à. C'est comme si on replongerait dans les années 70. Ça fait peur. Ils sont en train de nous. Là, avec les camionneurs là, et tout, qu'est-ce qui arrive là, à travers du monde, là, il va y avoir des délais. Going to be lots of delays. My comment get delayed by an hour anyways. Sorry about that. Yeah, see? 9:00, 9:49. No, 50 minutes, man. You're under an hour this time. Bruce, I went to a top end collector store. There was a medal presented to Buzz Aldrin in an armored glass cupboard priced at 100,000 pounds. What? Oh, yeah. Was that the medal from the moon, I think, or something? One of the pieces he found on the moon, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. I've heard the royal family's last name was changed around World War I or World War II. Andrew Lepensi, you are right about that, 100%. You see, only the people that have grandfathers that have old memorabilia or old books that they were able to keep amongst the books that were not burnt in Germany at the time, which tends to happen every 30, 40, 50 years, where they start burning books and demolishing a system, right? They're about to demolish ours there. And everything my grandfather had on Queen Elizabeth and the Rothschilds was German related. He also had Victoria, not too cute, but the mother, Elizabeth, right? I think that, if I'm not mistaken. Very short lady, right? The goth era was by her formed and stuff. Well, she was German. And Germany had a queen before the First World War, and it was Queen Victoria. And she really was the queen and still is the queen of Germany. And the Rothschilds also inherited, okay, like took the Irish traditions and furniture and dressings and stuff and their kilts and everything by respect to an island in Ireland that her father, the king, right, would have bought and fallen in love with the culture of the Irish. I don't care if anyone doesn't believe me, that is a fact, and it can be found online. There's lots of controversy around the Rothschilds. We're not going to hide it. Elizabeth the second's father was an SS Nazi. Did you know that? Like, I'm not shooting that out there because, like, by lying. It's a fact. 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 Look it up. It's interesting. And you know how I know that, Andrew? My grandfather had, and that's what I got, all the ancestry and the family tree of the Rothschilds in a very, very old plaque presented, like a newspaper like sort of thing, real documentation where it talks all about who she was related to. I mean, these guys were related to, dukes and stuff in Bolivia and stuff, and you wouldn't even imagine, all around the world. In Germany, they're not from here. They are not from here. I don't even think they're English, right? They're in England. They adopted it. They could be born there, whatever, but the bloodline of that is German. So in reality, we can look at it any way we want, Andrew. We can say, yeah, that they won the war. The Germans won the war, and they were smart enough to have American people continue to tell the American people what to do instead of having a German come in and make them feel like the people have changed. Why not make the Americans feel that they won the war? That'd be scary. Maybe just a theory. Don't want to insult any Americans. I'm just saying, you never know. I think the Germans took the deal to give up nukes and war and got the tech settled in Antarctica and Moon, also Mars. Could very well be, there was a lot of talk about, there's talk about American military having a base on the moon, the Navy, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty obvious, I think. Bob Lazar, who was also, let's not forget, he was working for the Navy, right? He was also hired as, to back engineer, right? A physicist, right? A nuclear physicist to back engineer UFOs and to back engineer 9 different types of propulsion and anti-gravity systems. And hang on, I shouldn't say anti-gravity systems. 9 different types of systems. One system's anti-gravity, and you got 8 other vehicles flying in different ways, not using anti-gravity. How special is that? Free energy. Free energy, speed, everything. You have everything with that free energy. It's a way in a vacuum to create continual energy. So it's a chemical reaction that they deliberately induce 2 chemicals, 3. Don't go by what I'm saying, telling you how many chemicals, but that's exactly what's done. Creates a fusion that continues to heat all the time. As these 2 elements mix, they repel themselves and they get hot and they spiral the particles, and then it glows all the time. It's never ending, and that's held up in a vacuum, and it's just power. You got power to zap trees, you got power to zap planes, missiles. If that technology was to come out, bad. Really, Tony Brooks, is it worth me going to get it? Is there something hidden in that? Like, what's hidden in that? Don't like to say it, but the bugger was talented, Hitler, right? It's too bad they did all those bad things. He was an artist, apparently. I saw some of his paintings. I think that were absolutely professionally done, even though this is a scumbag who hurt many Jews and destroyed the lives of many people. But nonetheless, some of this, we have no idea what went on, right? The stories have all been distorted in the past from what they told us, for sure. That was an interesting question too. Helium-3, yeah, that's another thing they say on the moon, if I'm not mistaken. There's a helium-3, I think. I was thinking of that this week, Tony Brooks. It's funny. The Mein Kampf, a book that Hitler wrote. Hitler, I got the hiccups again. Sorry. Hitler was too much of a runt to go into the army, and he really, 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 really begged and forced himself to get up in the ranks. And he was also small soldier. He was laughed at. People in town even laughed at him, told him that he would not go into the military. And when he started gaining control, this was all a coup, right? Somebody planted him there. He's like a Fauci. That's how you got to look at it. Maybe he had an alien contact. I think, guys, that the alien contact would have happened during the war. Back in the time of the Egyptians, the first registered alien UFO sighting was said to look like a teapot. I find it funny because back thousands of years, they weren't going to compare it to a Lamborghini or something, right? They compared it to a teapot because it has a shape and form. And there was also a cover-up during the time of the Egyptians, and this is basic information that you can find on even on Wikipedia if you want to look it up. The first Egyptian, UFO sightings, there was a war, and each side were fighting, and both sides never agreed on anything, obviously, but they agreed on one thing, and it's that something, an unidentified flying object that day of that battle came over them and started, harassing them, basically like invading them, coming down. It's war. They don't want, the protectors of Earth don't want us to have power or play with power. Obviously, they came and taught us over, we don't know how many years, but I'm sure all of you will agree with me that as a theory, it's pretty plausible that an alien species, a higher intelligent race, came down here to inform us, maybe to get us through an evolution, to advance us maybe 1,000 years. So, go from primitives to sort of primitive, and, then the first car is built. Yeah, there's a gap, right? What the hell happened between it, right? Everybody, I really appreciate you all for taking the time to come here and to the live streams and join in the conversations about spirituality and ufology and even the paranormal. Because I'll be honest with you, when these things happened to me, when I lost my dad when I was young, it made me all of my life, and I still am, searching for the truth and what's on the other side. I don't want to know the answer. I just wanted to have a foot in the door, and I think I'm there. I know a lot of you are too. Some people have had a spiritual experience just by understanding what some people are going through. A brain is strong. I think it was Gates Smasher that said it, and I say it all the time. We're a very magical and spiritual race. We were a magical being a long time ago. We had a lot more powers. We were very highly intelligent, and everything that we know today, it's all our ancestors, the intelligent ancestors that were probably highly advanced, or we are aliens. We're here. The ancients, aliens came here, had babies with maybe another type of race. That's another theory. And then we got us, When I look at people like Ace of Space, I say, no, there was definitely a mix up at one point where there's something not right about the human race. You ever see someone, you look at someone and you go, oh my God, that person is perfect. And you look at someone else and you go, why are they alive? There's a big difference in ratio. Should there be amongst the race? Would you not think that a race would be so similar to one another, even their the way they're powerful or not? How come you got some people that can run 6 times around a building when one person can't even run 1 time around a building, right? And I'm not talking because one guy has a fat ass. Some people have these incredible powers. And I think we all had unique powers. Maybe there was 3 types of beings, of humans, and they know, scientists know, just by our DNA, which ones have the capability, or the ones that are maybe the true humans and ones that are not the true humans. But instead, they experiment with us. They make clones. They do a whole bunch of stupid stuff, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm off to make you guys and gals an amazing video. And H ruined that mustache style for everyone else. Was the size of my fist and made out of steel pipe parts. That's awesome. But what you built when you were young. I don't know how. We used to play with the motors, little motors in the cars. You know, that cylinder copper motor with a little at the end. We experiment with batteries. We experiment with magnets and a whole bunch of things. Cause fires sometimes, right in the schoolyard, even in the bus at one point. Kids are curious. And in reality, adults are big kids. Look at it the way you want. There's no difference. We're born to, I guess, learn, to adapt, to change. Humans must be, I don't know if we're the race that is the best or the strongest for doing that, but we endure a lot. We endure strains, different strains and stuff, and, stress, and it changes. How are humans going to change with the changing of the climates? Is that what caused the change of the crowns and the different shapes? You're not going to tell me Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal and everything that shit existed there. I don't believe it. I believe there were maybe other beings, maybe over an evolution. Hey, how long do you have to exist to see someone's bloody whole crown change? Think of it. So much we can talk about. Lab-made meat, synthetic meat. Yeah, evil is forbidden, and it scares me because that, without being a freak, obviously that's where they can put all the nanoparticles in, and that's where they can us in that, vaccinate us if they wanted to through that, they could poison us through that, without being phobic, okay. But honestly, we got to be realistic. And it's only recently, in a few years ago, that I stopped drinking bottled water. I stopped using salt. There's lots of things I'm starting to take care of my body, which some people are going to laugh, but it was a big step for me. And a lot of people don't even do that, not eating salts or whatnot. Sweets, I don't have any of that. That completely stopped, to the point where, like anybody, depending on you, I'll buy a box of Wheat Pets. If you're in Quebec, you know what I'm talking about. Or a box of chocolate chip cookies. I can only have 3 cookies. As a matter of fact, I can only have 4 cookies. It's 8, 6, and a big gulp of water, But I stopped that. I stopped the sweets, stopped the sugar too, and a bunch of other things. Only use Himalayan salt now. I'm slowly trying to better myself. And the governments don't tell you. Even doctors are not even telling you what proper vitamins to take and everything. It's like now everybody knows is that certain recipe. The vitamin C, which does help against COVID, by the way, the vitamin C, the zinc, and you have your K and everything. Anyways, there's a certain recipe where people are supposed to take that. But nonetheless, everybody, thank you so much. I love you all so much for the ongoing support that you give this channel. I'm off to make an amazing video for you all. I'm off to film outside in infrared at the same time. There's bound to be more stuff in the sky. And get encouraged, guys. January is almost done. We're the 28th. We're going to go through 4 more bloody weeks of February. Intense weather, probably. But then once we get into March, we'll already start being back, outside finding things and stuff. Cross your fingers for the next moon phase and it's not minus 30 degrees. That way I'll be able to go outside. So for those of you who wondered why I don't get the moon, 2 months, guys. It's been so cold. Didn't take the chance to bring it out. It's rare that it can happen that long, but it can happen. Thanks for being here, Sugar Bee. And to all that I missed or that I didn't get a chance to answer back, I'm very sorry for that. Wendy H and everybody, thanks a lot. I love you guys so much. Thanks for the support, and be strong. Thanks to all Canadians who are on the overpasses, and to all Canadian truckers and American truckers. Don't forget, they joined the convoy Our American friends are right there to get our backs. That's a beautiful thing. I'll talk to you all very soon. Be watching the next video. I'll get up in a couple of hours. Thanks for the likes. And please, thanks, mods. Take the time to subscribe to the channel. If you are interested after watching a couple of videos, it really does help YouTube creators. Real quick, those of you with monetized channels, expect to see a number in your subscribers go down this week or in the next couple of days. YouTube does this every year in January. At the end of January, they get rid of the spam channels. So, yay. It's the day where a lot of the trolls get their asses kicked and their channels taken down. January, that's the day. So, talk to you all very soon. Good night to you all.